From the Alabama Community College system, I'm Elijah Baker, and you're listening to Access Granted. In every circle of friends and family, someone's life has been touched by the power of a local community college. These institutions not only host enriching cultural events and exciting sporting activities that bring communities together, but also provide vital education pathways right in our neighborhoods.
What I have found is that many of my students simply learn a little bit differently or communicate a little bit differently. Their specific learning disability does not have anything to do with their work ethic, their ability to learn.
By focusing on what someone can do rather than their limitations, businesses can unleash untapped potential and drive growth in new ways.
We often say in the disability community that we are the most creative when it comes to building programs, and that's because we have to be.
Statistics show that many individuals with disabilities in Alabama are not part of the workforce. With the right support, this can change. The job market is full of opportunities, and colleges like Lurleen B. Wallace are leading the way to help more locals blossom in their careers. That's where we'll begin on today's episode. When I was in college, hearing professors call me by my first name brought an overwhelming sense of peace and belonging. This personal touch created a comforting atmosphere to help me feel at home away from home. At Lurleen B. Wallace, this commitment to nurturing each student's sense of belonging is evident every day. Connor Kelly says so himself.
Whenever I had a question, she would help me understand what the question was about. Her name was Jeannie Sanders, and she helped me whenever I needed.
Connor is actively pursuing his associate degree in applied science.
Then I'm going to transfer to a four-year institution to get my bachelor's in information systems management.
He makes really good grades.
I knew that he probably was going to have a little bit of help with socialization. I am Connor's mom, and he is 19, and I'm a supervisor at Shaw Industries. Just knowing Connor, he is on the autism spectrum, and it's high functioning.
Jan wasn't sure if Connor would get used to attending school in person again.
He did online school for 3 years, the last 3 years of his high school. I just called the college and asked him, about the RISE program, and they said he definitely would qualify for that. And so we went up there and met with Jeannie Sanders, and she was absolutely as sweet as can be, and she helped us sign up, and it was absolutely perfect for him.
The program tailors its approach to meet the needs of each student.
To help me basically get to know the campus, and then also help me learn about mortgages and more life skills, and also how to write a cover letter.
RISE rolled out about 2 years ago.
One of the key skills that I think I'm good at is written communication, because I write a lot of emails. I also am doing well in English.
I really think that RISE program broke the ice for him to be able to do that.
Jenny Sanders played a significant role in that.
We will meet for 8 hours during a week, and that is usually 2 4-hour days. It's something that can be subject to change given the group of students that we are working with at the time.
I just saw his confidence grow. I knew everything was going to be fine with him.
Connor's favorite teacher is the Workforce Development Coordinator at LBW, who also serves as the Career Pathway Specialist for Alabama RISE.
We have now graduated 15 students, 9 of which are working, have been working since they left the program. 2 are in credit-bearing classes in the community college system,
including Connor.
My favorite part of the program are the conversations that we have. Most of our students are coming out of high school and usually out of some of the special education programs in the high school, and they're not having some of the grown-up conversations that maybe other students are having.
These topics delve into specific issues such as sexual harassment, trafficking, and the nuances of diversity.
And all of those trainings give us wonderful platforms to start conversations about a wide variety of things that are work-related and very important when they go into the workplace.
Over 5,000 businesses depend on Alabama's community and technical colleges for training. These institutions are pivotal in workforce development, working closely with organizations such as the Alabama Department of Rehabilitation Services. This collaboration ensures that residents with disabilities statewide have access to resources, support, and financial assistance.
Historically, the community college system has been proactive in meeting the needs of our student learners where they are, whether that be offering appropriate student support services, either in a smaller classroom setting or through accessibility and accommodations offered in the classroom. They've tailored instruction for our students to meet the needs of those non-traditional learners, and they've been open to creating new programs to meet the needs of the business community.
Jane Elizabeth Burdishaw has been with the Rehabilitation Services Department for 26 years, and she has served as commissioner for the past 7 years. What challenges do residents currently face across the state who have a disability?
I'll give you an example. So for working age adults in our program year 2022, only 38% of working age adults with a disability were employed, compared to 78% of individuals who did not have a disability. When we talk about poverty rates in our state, individuals living with a disability are twice as likely, double the percentage, likely to live in poverty if they have a disability versus not having a disability.
Jane says challenges include public transportation, physical access to buildings, and technology. But there's another barrier, one that may be harder to acknowledge.
There's still stigma associated with disability, and I think a lot of that stigma is really just built around fear of the individuals with disabilities. Will I be able to do this or that? And then fear from the employment community. How do I support? How do I meet the needs of this individual worker or employee?
Do you think that employers are open enough to talk about that fear?
We have a business relations staff here at the department, and their job is to meet business right where they are. If we can get that one individual in the door with a disability and it's successful, very often the doors are then wide open for others to follow behind them. So anytime we're talking with a new employer, we want to go ahead right up front and say, what are your fears? Tell us where you think this might work and where it might not work, and let's work through that with you.
Jane's team also helps businesses identify technology that is best suited to accommodate workers with disabilities and will share the cost so employers can support their new employees.
We had a partnership with Wallace in Hansville with the truck driving program. We were able to provide truck training and long-haul driver training to individuals who use wheelchairs, and those were successful partnerships.
In Covington County, a family-owned business partnered with Alabama Rise to ensure employees with disabilities feel equally welcomed within its company.
Absolutely. I think it's definitely opened our eyes and really shows us that sometimes you can kind of go out of the box to really solve some of your problems and be better for it along the way.
Chase Saul serves as the accounting and office manager at the Andalusia Distributing Company, where they specialize in supplying a wide range of products commonly found in convenience stores.
One positive was we were able to really fill a need. And that in turn actually led to a full-time position. And that student who came on to ADC through the RISE program, he is still here with us today.
The timing couldn't have been more perfect.
It's just really cool when you see the process from start to finish and what really good can come of it. But in addition to that, I would say it's also tremendous for us in that it, diversified our workforce really and truly here.
I feel that as the RISE program grows, we'll have more and more employers who don't necessarily hear the description of students with learning disabilities and really just see it as individuals who are looking for a way to get into the workforce to be long-term, productive, happy workers. It is such a win-win situation for the student, for the community, for the business, that we will have more employers who actively seek students who've participated in our program.
Connor says a little bit of repetition and patience was all he needed.
Don't be afraid to try something different than your usual routine, because eventually with repetition of that same activity you aren't used to, you'll become used to it. For example, commuting to a college or work via a vehicle like a car or truck took me a long time to get used to, but the practice I did by getting to college and back to my home while in the RISE program helped me get used to the new routine.
There are individuals who may not always be seen as viable candidates to fill workforce needs, but Alabama's community and technical colleges are actively working to shatter that perception. Every resident, regardless of their capabilities or those who have been traditionally marginalized, can thrive and make significant contributions to their communities. If obstacles stand in your way, there's always a path to overcome them. This is Access Granted. Special thanks to the ACCS communications team, Ebony Horton-Bradley for her guidance, Russell Moore for script editing, and Ty Rayford for audio engineering the show. Until next time.